It is 11 a.m. on a Saturday. You have been awake for 3 hours, yet you have accomplished nothing. You are lying in the same position you woke up in, bathed in the blue light of your phone screen. Your thumb moves mechanically. Swipe, swipe, tap, swipe. In the back of your mind, a voice is screaming at you. It tells you to get up. It tells you to wash the dishes, write that email, go to the gym, or simply move your body. But you cannot. It feels as though gravity has increased threefold. The air in the room feels heavy, thick, and suffocating. You look at a simple task, like folding laundry, and it feels like climbing Mount Everest. You tell yourself that you are lazy. You tell yourself that you lack discipline. You compare yourself to the people you see online, the ones waking up at 4 a.m., running marathons and building empires, and you feel a deep, rotting sense of shame. But I am here to tell you something that might save your life. You are not lazy, you are not broken, and you are not lacking in moral character. You are suffering from a biological malfunction. Your brain is currently in a state of chemical bankruptcy. Specifically, the machinery responsible for motivation, your dopamine signaling system, has crashed. What you are feeling right now is not a personality defect. It is a physiological ceiling. To understand why you cannot move, we must look inside the skull, deep into the primitive structures of your brain. We need to talk about the basal ganglia and the tyranny of the synaptic cleft. Let's increase the resolution. Imagine your brain as a high-performance engine. Dopamine is often misunderstood as the pleasure molecule. This is scientifically inaccurate. Dopamine is the molecule of anticipation. It is the fuel of pursuit. It is the biological signal that tells your body, do this and you will survive. In a healthy brain, there is a baseline level of dopamine firing at all times. This baseline is what allows you to feel okay just existing. It is what allows you to find interest in a book, a conversation, or a walk outside. When you crave something like a sugary snack or a notification, your dopamine spikes above this baseline. But here is the mechanism that no one talks about. Biology demands balance. This is called homeostasis. For every spike in dopamine, there must be a crash. Think of it like a pendulum. If you push the pendulum high to the right into the zone of pleasure and high stimulation, it must swing back an equal distance to the left into the zone of pain and low stimulation. When you spend hours on TikTok, Instagram, or playing video games, you are bombarding your brain with artificial high-amplitude dopamine spikes. You are pushing the pendulum violently to the right. The brain, trying to protect itself from this overstimulation, reacts defensively. It begins to eliminate the receptors that catch dopamine. This is called downregulation. Imagine you are in a dark room and someone shines a bright flashlight in your eyes. You squint. You look away. You become less sensitive to light to protect your vision. Your brain does the exact same thing with dopamine. When you flood the system, your brain retracts its receptors, specifically the D2 receptors in the striatum. Now, you have fewer catcher's gloves to catch the ball. This means that normal activities, reading, working, cleaning, talking to a friend, no longer register. They don't produce enough dopamine to trigger the few receptors you have left. They feel boring. They feel painful. This is the state of anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. But it gets worse. When the pendulum swings back, it doesn't just return to the center. It swings into the side of pain. This is driven by a molecule called dynorphin. Dynorphin is the chemical opposite of dopamine. As your dopamine crashes, dynorphin rises to create a sensation of unease, irritability, and friction. This is the physical heaviness you feel when you try to put the phone down. That resistance isn't laziness. It is a chemical withdrawal symptom. Your body is literally in pain because it is craving the high stimulation baseline you have artificially created. You are not fighting a lack of willpower. You are fighting neurochemistry. So, how do we fix this? How do we reset a system that has been fried by years of digital superstimuli? Most people try to solve this with motivation. They watch a motivational video, which, ironically, releases dopamine, and get a temporary spike, only to crash harder an hour later. Motivation is useless here. You need a biological protocol. We are going to execute a 24-hour dopamine reset. This is not a trend. This is a scientific method to upregulate your D2 receptors and clear out the dynorphin. Here is the granular protocol. Step 1. The pattern interrupt. You must stop the input immediately. The moment you realize you are in a doom scroll loop, you must physically change your state. Do not try to think your way out of it. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, is currently offline. You need to shock the system. Cold water on the face, a sprint up the stairs, a scream into a pillow. You need a sensory override to snap the basal ganglia out of its automatic loop. Step 2. The detox window. For the next 24 hours, you must eliminate all sources of cheap dopamine. This means no social media, no video games, no pornography, no processed sugar, no music with lyrics. You are going to embrace the bore. Boredom is not a defect. It is a cleaning mechanism. When you are bored, your brain is panicking. It is screaming for stimulation. But because you're not giving it the high-speed hits it is used to, it begins to heal. In the absence of the flood, the brain realizes it is safe to open its eyes again. It begins to redeploy those D2 receptors. It puts the catcher's gloves back on the field. Step 3. Friction management. During this 24 hours, you will feel the urge to relapse. This is the dynorphin peaking. You must create friction between you and the dopamine sources. Put your phone in a lockbox. Give the power cord of your PC to a friend. Unplug the TV. The basal ganglia is lazy. It wants the path of least resistance. If you make the bad habit difficult to access, even by 20 seconds, you often break the craving loop. Step 4. Low-Dopamine resensitization. You cannot just sit and stare at a wall. That will lead to madness. You must engage in low-dopamine activities. These are activities that release dopamine slowly and sustainably. Read a physical book, write with a pen and paper, walk in nature without headphones, clean your room. At first, these will feel excruciatingly slow. You will feel a phantom vibration in your pocket. Your mind will race. This is good. This is the fever. Breaking. As the hours pass, you will notice something shifting. Around hour 16 or 18, the fog begins to lift. The colors in the room might look a bit brighter. The idea of folding your laundry might not feel like climbing Mount Everest anymore. It just feels like laundry. This is your baseline returning. This is your receptors coming back online. By the 24th hour, you have effectively reset the sensitivity of your neural machinery. You are no longer deaf to the quiet joys of life. But a warning, this reset is fragile. If you wake up the next day and immediately blast your brain with TikTok, you will undo the work instantly. You must protect your morning. The first hour of your day sets the dopamine slope for the rest of the waking period. If you start with low stimulation, sunlight, movement, silence, you build a stable foundation. If you start with high stimulation, you tip the pendulum and you will spend the rest of the day chasing a ghost. You are not lazy. You are a biological machine operating in an environment you were not evolved to handle. You have the power to change the settings, but it requires the courage to endure the silence. It requires the strength to sit with the boredom until the boredom becomes peace. Reset your biology and your motivation will follow. The 24 hours start now.